Good evening, my dear friends. I would like to start this evening with a question. It is not just something to pass by quickly, but a real and honest one. I want you to pause and really think about it for a second before I continue. How many hours each day do you truly spend living inside your desired state? I do not mean imagining it or wishing for it or talking about it in your mind. I mean actually being in it, feeling it as your present truth. Please be completely truthful with yourself right now. Look deep inside, because the answer to this one simple question holds the key to everything that has shown up in your life so far and everything that has stayed away. It explains every wish that came true quickly, every one that never arrived, and every longing that has remained stuck in the same spot for months or even years, refusing to budge no matter what you try. For the majority of you listening, if you are really honest, the number is probably somewhere between 1 and 2 hours, or perhaps even less than that. That special time usually happens late at night, just before you drift off to sleep. During that golden window, you do your mental scene, the picture feels bright and alive, the emotion feels genuine and deep, and for a short, wonderful moment, you are completely sure that your desire is already finished. You fall asleep wrapped in that beautiful feeling. You carry it with you into dreams. But then the morning light comes through the window, and often within just 5 minutes, sometimes even faster, the whole thing vanishes. You pick up your phone right away. You feel the pressure of all the things waiting for you today. You remember exactly how much money is in your account, what your love life looks like at the moment, how your body feels physically, and what your current situation really is. In that instant, without even trying, you slide right back into the old way of being. You return to the familiar state, the one that feels safe and known, even though it keeps you trapped and heavy. So you have offered your new desire roughly 1 hour of your full attention, while the old reality has received the remaining 23 hours without interruption. And then, what truly hurts to see is that you sit there wondering why nothing is changing, why the new thing is not appearing. My friends, this evening we are going to change that pattern completely. We will not do it with some fancy new method or a stronger technique that takes more effort. Instead, we will make a deep and basic change in how you see what manifestation truly means and what it honestly demands from you every single day. Tonight, I will guide you step by step so you can remain inside your chosen assumption every hour of the day, every day of the week, every moment without any breaks at all. Are you ready to hear this and really apply it? Then let us begin right now. Let me share something important that will change the way you look at all of this forever. Your consciousness is not something that turns off and on like a switch you control only during your evening practice. It does not go dark until you decide to light it up at night and then go quiet again until the next session. Your consciousness is always awake and active, always creating, always shaping your world in every single moment you are awake and even when you are asleep. It builds your reality based on whatever state of being you are holding most naturally at any given time. This truth never pauses. Right now, as these words reach you, you are manifesting. You were manifesting this morning the second your eyes opened. You were manifesting while eating your lunch earlier today. You were manifesting while driving or walking to wherever you are now. You will keep manifesting on your way back home tonight. And even at 3 o'clock in the morning, when your mind is quiet and not thinking about any of this on purpose, the creative process continues without stopping. The power that forms your life never waits politely for you to begin your special routine. It does not pause when your mind wanders to other things. It does not take holidays or rest on weekends. It keeps producing your outer world from whatever belief or feeling sits strongest inside you in that exact instant. So the only question that truly counts is this one. Which assumption is living most strongly in your mind for the largest part of your day? For almost everyone, if they answer with complete honesty, it is their present situation. It is the identity they know best, the familiar thoughts, emotions, and ways of acting that have been carved into their mind over many long years. Those deep tracks of habit are so strong now. People hold the new desire for maybe 1 hour, but then they hold the old circumstances for the other 23. And they feel surprised, truly shocked when the 23-hour state wins every time. But of course it wins. It has no choice. Manifestation does not arrive from what you do in a short 60-minute session. It arrives from who you are being most of the time, day after day. If the person you are being most consistently is someone who still lacks the thing, someone who wants it badly, works hard for it, hopes desperately, and feels they need it to feel complete, then that exact state must show up in your world. Not because life is mean or unfair, but because the law is exact and never makes mistakes. Before I explain the clear and practical steps to hold your assumption every hour of every day, I need to talk about something very important first. I call it the default state. Your default state is the condition your mind naturally slips back into whenever you are not deliberately focusing on something else. It is your mental resting place, the spot your awareness returns to automatically when nothing else pulls it away. For most people, that default state is not the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. It is the old familiar place, the heavy weight of everything they have lived through, believed, and repeated to themselves for years and years. Imagine your mind is like a rubber band stretched tight. You pull it away from the center toward your new desired state. As long as you keep holding it with effort, you stay there in that new place. But the moment your attention moves elsewhere, the moment daily life pushes in, or you feel tired, or you simply stop concentrating, the rubber band snaps back to its original position with force. That snap is exactly why so many manifestations never fully arrive. It is not because your method is incorrect. It is not because your visualization lacks detail or feeling. It is not because the universe ignored your request. The real reason is that your default state is still rooted in the old reality. The true and lasting work is not about pulling the rubber band harder every night during practice. The real work is to shift the entire center point so the new state becomes the natural resting place. You want to plant the wish fulfilled so deeply inside that when your mind drifts, it no longer falls back into lack or struggle. Instead, it gently returns to the calm certainty of already having. That is what living in your assumption 24 hours a day, 7 days a week really means. It does not mean forcing yourself with white knuckle effort to stay positive every second. It does not mean anxiously watching and correcting every single thought like a strict guard. It means gently moving the center of your being so the new state feels normal, automatic, and truly like home. And tonight, I will explain exactly how to make that shift happen in your daily life. Let us begin with your mornings, because this is the place where most people lose the whole day before it even starts. You wake up after doing your state akin to sleep practice the night before. That peaceful, certain feeling is still warm inside you from the evening. In those first moments, you have a powerful chance. Your mind is still gentle and open. The old habits have not fully taken over yet. The first 30 to 60 seconds, while you are moving from sleep into full wakefulness, is like a sacred gift. Sadly, most people waste it completely. They immediately grab their phone from the nightstand. They scroll through messages, read the news headlines, check notifications, look at their bank account balance. They start thinking about all the problems waiting for them today. By doing that, they give control of their consciousness back to their current circumstances before their feet even touch the floor. Instead of that habit, here is what I ask you to try from tomorrow onward. The instant you open your eyes, before you move your body, before you reach for anything at all, and before any thought about the day ahead enters your mind, simply rest in your desired state for 60 seconds. Do not try to picture it or think hard about it. Just be the person who already possesses what you want. Let that new identity wrap around you naturally and fully, the way a soft, warm blanket covers someone who is resting peacefully. There is no performance here. There is no technique to force. You are simply accepting what is already real inside your consciousness. After those 60 seconds pass, this next part is extremely important. When you finally get out of bed, do not get up as someone who is still trying to reach their desire. Get up as the person who already lives with it fulfilled. That small difference in attitude changes everything completely. When you rise still working toward the thing, every movement, every breath, every word you speak carries the energy of not yet here. Every single action becomes filled with the vibration of wanting. And wanting always carries the hidden assumption of not having. But when you rise already as the one who has it, you walk through the world on a completely different level. Your body stands taller without effort. Your voice sounds calmer and more sure. Even the simple act of making your morning coffee feels different. Not because you are acting, but because the belief underneath has changed entirely. This morning habit becomes the foundation that sets the tone for your entire day. Make it non-negotiable. No matter if the weather is bad, if you feel inspired or completely tired, do it every single morning, 7 days every week, without fail. 60 seconds is all I'm asking for. But when you repeat those 60 seconds day after day, week after week, month after month, they will slowly and surely change your default state forever. As you go through the rest of your day, something is happening every minute that almost no one pays close attention to. Right now, even while you listen to these words, there is a quiet voice inside your head. It keeps talking, commenting on everything, judging situations, making plans, worrying about the future, remembering past things. This inner conversation never really stops from the time you wake until the time you fall asleep again. And with perfect accuracy, it shapes the assumption you are holding in every moment. For most people, that inner voice sounds something like this: I cannot pay for that right now. Why does this kind of thing always happen to me? Nothing ever turns out the way I hope. I am so tired of feeling alone all the time. I never have enough. I am simply not good enough. Does that voice feel familiar to you? Of course it does, because it pretends to be realistic. It pretends to be honest about life as it is. It pretends to be the sensible, down to earth part of you that has simply accepted reality. But in truth, that voice is the strongest and most constant assumption creating machine you have. Every single one of those thoughts is an assumption in action. Every time you think, I cannot afford that, you step fully into the state of someone who lacks money in that moment. Every time you think nothing works out for me, you give that reality the full power of your mind. And you repeat these thoughts hundreds or even thousands of times every day, while your 1 hour evening practice tries so hard to build the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Your inner conversation spends the other 23 hours quietly tearing it down, thought after thought. This must change starting today. Your inner conversation needs to become the natural voice of the person who already lives with their desire. It should not feel forced or fake. It should not be loud affirmations shouted through clenched teeth. It should be a gentle way of thinking from the new state instead of always thinking about it from the outside. When you notice something you would love to have, do not say, I cannot afford that. Say instead, I could easily have that whenever I choose. When something unexpected goes wrong, do not ask, why is this happening to me? Say quietly, this is unfolding perfectly, even if I do not see the full picture yet. When you feel lonely for a moment, do not think, I am so alone. Think instead, I am deeply loved, and I am never truly by myself. This is not about forcing fake happiness or ignoring real difficulties. This is about making a clear, conscious choice to think from your desired identity rather than from your present situation. At the beginning, yes, it will require attention and effort. You will notice the old thoughts creeping in many times each day, and you will need to gently guide them back. That catching and returning is the real practice. In fact, it is the single most powerful practice I have ever shared with anyone. Because once your inner conversation truly changes for good, your outside world has no option but to change along with it. That is simply the law at work. I understand completely that you cannot watch every single thought every second of the day. That would be exhausting and would defeat the whole purpose. You would spend all your energy policing your mind and have nothing left for living. So here is a very simple system that looks easy but creates deep and lasting results. Set a quiet alarm on your phone to go off every 2 hours during your waking time. When you hear it, stop whatever you're doing for just 10 seconds. Ask yourself one clear question: what state am I holding right now? Do not ask what you are doing or how you feel emotionally. Ask whose state of being you are living from, the one who already has the desire or the one who still wants it and lacks it. If you find you have stayed in your chosen assumption, quietly acknowledge it. Feel it deepen for a moment. Let it settle more firmly inside. If you have slipped back to the old state, and you will slip sometimes because everyone does, simply return without any anger or shame. No big drama, no blaming yourself, no spiral of negative thoughts. Just notice gently, oh, I drifted away for a bit. Here I am again, back in the state of having. It is already done. Of course it is. 10 seconds is all it takes. Do this every 2 hours without missing a time. Try it faithfully for 7 full days and watch how your mind begins to change. By the end of the first week, you will notice yourself catching the drift even before the alarm reminds you. Your consciousness starts becoming aware of itself and correcting naturally. By the end of the second week, the new state begins to feel more comfortable and normal than the old one ever did. By the end of the first month, it stops feeling like hard work or maintenance. It simply starts feeling like who you are now. But now I must speak about the most difficult part, the one that challenges even the most committed and sincere people who study these ideas. That part is dealing with contradictory evidence. You are doing beautifully. Your inner voice is slowly changing to the new way. Your morning 60 seconds are strong and consistent. Then suddenly something appears that seems to prove the opposite. A bill comes that feels too big. Your bank account shows less than you expected. The important message or call does not arrive. The medical result is not what you wanted. Your past partner is seen with someone new. In that sharp moment when reality seems to slap you, an old and very strong force rises up inside. Fear, doubt, and panic rush in. The pull of the old state feels almost impossible to resist. It drags you back so hard that all your recent efforts seem weak and useless. Most people give up right there. They react strongly. They let fear take over completely. They dive headfirst into the circumstances and start swimming in worry and proof. They think, I knew it was not real after all. And with that single reaction, everything they had carefully built starts to fall apart. I am not going to tell you to pretend the problem is not there. I am not going to suggest you force a fake smile during a real difficulty or act as though serious situations do not exist. But I am going to share something that completely transforms how you handle these moments. What you are seeing right now is old information. Think about that carefully. If your consciousness truly creates your reality, and it does without question, then everything appearing in your physical world at this moment is not built from your current assumption. It is the solid shadow of a belief you held in the past. It is yesterday's state of mind turned into something you can see and touch today. It is literally old news that has just now become visible. The low money in your account is not your present truth in consciousness. It is simply the remaining echo of a state you used to live in. The missing call or message is not proof that you failed. It is only the natural delay between when you changed your inner state and when the outer world catches up and reflects it. So when that contrary evidence shows up, this is what you say quietly to yourself, not as something you perform for others, but as a calm and real understanding of how creation actually operates. This is old data. This is not what is true for me in consciousness right now. I see it clearly. I accept that it is here, and I still choose to stay inside my assumption. You look at it. You feel whatever emotion comes up. You do not pretend it away or deny it exists. And most importantly, you do not let it pull you out of your chosen state. Because what so many people miss in that exact moment is this truth. This is not the universe saying no to you. This is the universe checking how deeply you really believe your new assumption. Every single time you stay steady in your desired state, even when the outside world shows the opposite, every time you pick the inner feeling over the outer appearance, you send the most powerful signal possible to the creative part of your mind. You are declaring, I know what is truly real, and what is real is my assumption. That kind of signal is what actually builds entire new worlds around you. As your day comes to an end, there is one last important step you should never skip. Before you let yourself fall asleep, take a few quiet moments to look back over the day. Do not do this to criticize yourself or list every mistake. Do it to learn, to notice, and to strengthen what is growing. Ask yourself these gentle questions. Where did I manage to hold my assumption successfully today? Where did I slip away, and what caused that slip? When something appeared that seemed to contradict me, how did I choose to respond? Give yourself credit for every single victory, no matter how small. Every time you noticed the old thought and gently came back to the new one, that is real progress. It shows the fresh pattern is becoming stronger inside you. Feel good about those moments on purpose. Then move into your state akin to sleep practice with love and patience. Do it slowly and fully aware of why it matters so much. Feel your desire as already complete. Make the scene bright, warm, and completely real to you. Then let yourself sink into sleep while still resting inside that fulfilled feeling.